Now, a key part of the presentation for the Idea Centre has always revolved around playfulness, with so many of the creativity techniques being used to regress the otherwise controlled and constrained behaviour of adults to generate intermediate impossibles or novel and useless ideas as a stepping stone towards true creativity, or ideas that are both novel and useful, of course. Well, why not cut out the adults, cut out the middleman completely and go straight to the children? And earlier in March, I had the pleasure, the joy of going into a local primary school and spent a hugely pleasant afternoon with a class of Year 6s, largely 10-year-olds. I discussed a couple of generic problems relating to the Idea Centre, but which would also relate to many other businesses. And the class were then split into small groups of 3, and they spent a splendid afternoon exploring those issues with all the imagination that the children could muster, using drawings to capture the imaginative ideas that emerged. Now, one of the problems I tabled was how to promote communication across an organisation, but to make it more relatable for the children. What I did was to imagine a huge factory which maybe takes up to an hour to walk across. One of the ideas that emerged was simply stunning as an intermediate impossible to springboard off to generate a novel and useful idea. And that was the concept, in order to promote communication, of a unicycling mail monkey who delivered a daily newsletter. How fantastic! Imagine the excitement that would generate, with everyone waiting for the mail monkey, no one wanting to miss it, so always eager to pick up whatever information, to witness the process of communication that was taking place. And the interesting thing was to contrast that with my recent launching of a monthly newsletter that will contain snippets of information relating to creativity. This was an email format and a list, standard stuff. Don't forget, I'm comparing this now with a unicycling mail monkey, and hugely dull in format, tedious, and probably heading straight from the inbox to the bin of any recipient. Now, as I played around with the idea of the mail monkey on the unicycle and looking at the engaging nature of that, I remembered that I'd recently tripped over this video Scribe software that I'm using for this cartooning item here, and the penny dropped and a whole bunch of things started to connect together. This format seems to be far more engaging, pulling in the recipient and hopefully generating a degree of excitement for the recipients to see what the latest snippet of cartooning is all about, to make it readily accessible and easily digestible. So, thanks to Becker's Green Primary School, huge thanks go out to them, and they have instantly made my 4-month-old newsletter, which was to be issued on a monthly basis, redundant. I have replaced it, cast it into the bin, and I am now replacing it with this weekly cartooning video Scribe snippet of information about creativity, much more digestible, and hopefully better received as a result of that. What a simply brilliant idea, and all out of the childishness of creativity.